Hi, I'm Marty, and this is Sewing Nerd Confessions, and I have some confessions for you today. The other side of my room isn't as sparkly as this side. How many of you can relate and know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah. Today, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I completed in April for other people. So I decided to take part in this challenge. I actually was going to sew these things anyway, so it's just a coincidence that there is a challenge called Selfless Sew April 22. But I thought, why not? I'm going to take a part in it because I'm actually sewing for other people, and I don't normally do that for many reasons. But some of these pieces I will not be actually entering them because I finished them in April, but I started them before April. So I'm going to start with those. All right. First up is a little princess dress, and I'm actually going to film a separate video showing you how I created this dress for a very special little girl out of 2 curtains and a prom dress. So it's so adorable, and I love color. I actually don't wear a lot of color, but I like mixing unusual colors, so I didn't want to make the traditional pink, little princess dress. So when I picked up all these colors, I thought, how fun are all of these? And when I was making it at my sewing group, people were telling me, oh, that's like Frozen. I'd never seen Frozen, so I didn't know. But I thought, well, that's cool. The Disney designers came up with something a little different. So did I. So this dress was just so fun to make. And I created a little cummerbund to go around it to kind of give it a little more detail. But like I said, I'm going to do a separate video kind of walking through what I changed in the pattern, because the pattern wasn't exactly like this. No surprise, typical Marty fashion. I'm going to change it up because, that's what we can do when we sew. So that's my first one. Now, I did start this one before April, so that one will not be a part of my entries. I'm going to put that right here. Second is my jacket that I'm going to send to my daughter, my Upcycled Jacket. And I actually have a whole video that I talk about some upcycling. This is one of the jackets that's featured in that video. And so I will leave a card up here and in the description down below so that you can click on it. And if you would like to see how I upcycle and how I make those decisions, go ahead and subscribe. Click the notification bell, because I'm going to be actually doing probably a 3-part video on dyeing the fabric, making the selections, deciding what I'm going to embroider, and what materials I'm going to use to upcycle. So maybe you all can do it too. It's not that hard. It's fun. So you can join me in that. All right. So this is a jacket that I used. It is by the Grain Line Studios. It's a Thayer jacket. Here's the back of it. If you want to know more about that jacket, just go down in the description. I'll have a link to my video. I believe it's my 4th video that I have up, so you can check it out. The next thing I made was also for my daughter, and it is a free pattern, Patterns for Pirates, Walk the Plank Pajama Bottoms. Aren't these adorable? I made them in the most beautiful yarn dyed cotton plaid, and of course I changed it up a little bit. I put patch pockets on the front, lined them up really good with the plaid, and then I put an angle on there, and I wanted to make sure they were big enough for her cell phone to fit in there. So I just folded that over when I sewed it, pressed it real nice, and that's gonna allow for that. Another thing that I did, instead of just doing elastic, she doesn't live close to me, so I wanted to make sure they were gonna fit. So I put 2 rows of very narrow elastic in most of it, like probably 2/3 of the pants. And then what I did, let me pull this out for you. Okay. So what I did was I attached both of those narrow, there we go. There we go. See, I attached both of those channeled elastics and I attached them to this beautiful band so that when she's wearing it, you see the band. It's a fairly flat front, but as she pulls it, it will gather that a little bit. And I just thought that was a nice way to make it so that I was assured that it would fit her. Like I said, I have her measurements, but you never know. You want to make sure that they can wear the things that you make. So this is something I sewed in April, and I will be submitting this. Oh, got one more thing. All right, the next one, I know it doesn't match my top, and by the way, I'm wearing a thrifted, beautiful Georgette tank, and this is a crop jacket. Isn't it adorable? I love this so much. And I made the little pockets to match. I did the binding in this fabric. I actually shared this fabric in a fabric haul that I did. And I will link that video down below as well. But her arms are a little shorter than mine. So that's about the right length for her. And this jacket, I love it, how roomy it is. I did top stitch it. Let me take it off so I can show you details. Okay. All right. So this fabric is 100% cotton on the outside, and it's quilted. So I did do top stitching along there, and of course I sewed on the patch pockets, and a little bit of a curve there. And here are the large buttons I used, and it is cropped. And then the sleeves have a cuff. And this pattern, I can't quite remember the name of it, but I will put it right here so that you know what it is, in case you like it. It's a very popular pattern. Now, they always want you to do something to keep the shoulder seam from stretching out. And so I actually have taken apart old silk ties and made silk bias strips with it. I saved the inside of the tie. Wasn't sure what I was gonna do with that, but I thought that's really a nice material. It may come in handy for something. And so I use that to stabilize the shoulders. So this one I did in April as well. So I started and completed 2 projects for my daughter in April. I will be submitting for the sewing challenge called Selfless Sew April 22. Now, if you're wondering what these are my works in progress that have been here for a while. I'll just give you a quick peek. It's a beautiful cotton fabric that has a little bit of a give to it. And it's a jacket, of course, because I love me a good jacket. And I'm gonna do a video about my works in progress and what I need to do to make them work for me. Here's another one, which is a Oh, it's a very textured knit. So it's stretchy, but it has a very definite texture to it. The wrong side is beautiful as well as the front side. So those two projects are on here because honestly, I need to just look at them when I'm in my sewing room to remind me that I need to finish those so that I can wear them. So I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I think I see the new shiny patterns and the new shiny fabric, and I just want to do those things because they're new. So I'm sure that once again, you all can relate to that. All right, well, that's it for me today. So you guys know what to do. Confess your seams down below.